Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Ciao I have two amazing junk journal and ephemera books. They're loaded with images, stickers, cutouts, papers, perfect for all your junk journals, your scrapbooking, your card making. Guys, I made some cards using the fairy collection. So cute. This is our giveaway card for this episode. So if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer could win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a flip through Fairy Whispers. It says here there's 160 images for junk journal, collage, scrapbooking, card making, and paper crafts, 32 pages. It's printed on 140 GSM, acid-free, ligand-free. That's the weight of the paper. Includes 4 transparent adhesive pages. So we're going to open up. First of all, the inside front cover, a nice heavy weight, has some little pockets here. These are just little fold over flaps you'll see occasionally. Works really nicely to use a scoreboard on those or just a bone folder to get those in the just a really nice fold on them. Lots of flowers and leaves and lots of tags in this collection. Okay, here is one of the adhesive sheets. I'll do a little demo for you on cutting things out in a minute. So yeah, just really nice. It's clear adhesive. Let me see if I can get this open. Here we go. You just peel it off like that. So when you're cutting around these images, you're going to have a nice clear example. And here, this little greeting is one of the stickers. All right, so have all of this beautiful, like the houses, the little critters and the animals, the fairies, the mushrooms, very woodland. Some of it's like dusted in snow, some of it's very fall looking, some of it's very spring and summer looking. Then on the back you have a full sheet of patterned paper. So if you come across some images where you're like, I can do without those, maybe I want to use a corner of this, you can do that. And then all of these beautiful fall themed cutouts are gorgeous. I love how it just kind of takes you through the seasons. And then these are excellent, really nice borders. It's just a line of a border of trees and treetops, like a tree canopy on the top, and it's just repeated. So you could use it as an all over page, or you could cut each one out as a border. All right, and then you've got, oh, look at the little fairy houses made out of the nuts. How cute. And the fox with the little cloak on. The fairies sitting in the branches. I love the little steps going up into the little fairy house. The snow coming down. Wouldn't you just love to just sit at home? I like to just use the little scissors. And what I did is I took this home and I sat there with my little lap desk. I just have a little like old school lap desk that I use when I'm crafting. Sit on my couch and just cut out pieces. I generally will take like a pencil or something, and when I'm designing a card, and I just kind of circle ones, that way I can erase, if there's a pencil line, the ones that I want to add to a project. And then I go back and I cut them out. So that's my way of doing it. So yeah, you've got this beautiful barn wood and then another sheet of sticker paper with all these little words and things. It's so cool. Look at this cool, like cascading vines. So cool. I do a lot of tearing of these things. Like if it's on the corner, I'll just take my hands and I'll just kind of carefully tear around it like this, tear around this. Ink the edges a little bit. Oh, what I wanted to do is when I went through this was point out on the card, okay, I was going to do both at the same time. So this is a 8 1/4 by 4 inch tent fold card, okay? And what I did was I inked the edges of everything on this card all the way around, and used khaki ink and my little blender tool, okay, just to kind of take care of the background. Then I started with this piece, and as I said, I sort of circled or put a little check mark by the ones that I wanted to come back to. And for this one, I just tore around this, okay? You could cut it out, kind of getting as far away from the image as you can to cut it out and then tear it with just little tiny tears with your fingertips. Tore that out, inked the edges with some brown cocoa bean ink, okay? And then I glued that right here. And you can tell it's kind of this shape. It kind of goes like this, okay? And then I went and I found this cute little mushroom shape, and I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. And it's not that one. Where is it? Giving you a little sneak preview of all these. Yes, it's this one. Tore this one out, inked the edges with that, and just glued this right here. So these pieces were overlapping a little bit. Then I cut out one of these cute little fairies. I did ink the edges with that with a little khaki ink. I like to ink the edges, especially of the characters, because when you cut out, sometimes you miss something, you get a little bit of a white edge or something. That ink will just take care of it and just makes it look like a much cleaner cut than it is. And then we're just gluing this down. And then I had this empty space right here. So I just took a couple of these leaves and I glued them there. This is one of the stickers. And then this is just a cutout that I foam taped after inking that. And then these two are little hanging houses that I cut out. Inked the edges of those as well, and I just glued those up using our Cosmic Shimmer Specialist acrylic glue we love using in these little fine tip bottles, and you can get both at paperwishes.com. All these supplies are listed down below the video if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page at paperwishes.com. If you're watching us over on YouTube, just look below the video in the description. There's a description box, you'll see a link that'll take you to this page so that you can find everything I'm talking about. But using this little fine tip applicator is really nice for gluing these little tiny spaces. I also added some little copper colored Jewel Dazzle stickers, and then using a little jewel picker is really nice to lift these up and then just place them where you want. Okay, so I wanted to make sure we could kind of go through that. And then I'm also going to take a look at the next card here when we get to it. So moving on. All right. All of these really cute little, I love all the mushrooms and the gnomes and then just animals with clothes on them. They're just adorable. Look at the little scarf on the bunny. Okay, and then the woodland scene with all the cobwebs. Somehow cobwebs sounds nicer to me than spider webs. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same. Is it less intimidating to say cobwebs? Flowers to cut out, all the little nuts and things like that. And then these large pages of these scenes are absolutely beautiful. I mean, just cover a journal with this whole page, right? Okay, you've got your little fairies, these sort of long border shapes with the little frames around them are so nice. The wood paper, I mean, just so many things to work with. And then you've got this scatter of leaves with like acorns and little pods and things in them. This beautiful scene with all the little fairy houses hanging, the bird nests and the little house here and the knot of the tree. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so we came to this part right here, which are two different large stickers. And I wanted to show you a card that I'm making with this one. I'm not quite done. So this is a 6.5 by 5-inch card. I covered it with this one right here, this sticker, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. And then I took 3 of the tags that I cut out, okay? Inked the edges of those using my blender tool and cocoa bean. And I just glued them across and overlapping. And then you guys, I found this little piece right here. It's a long border of twine, it's very thin. And then it's got a little bow tied in that. I'm gonna skip ahead here and see if I can find it. Anyway, I cut that out and I used my little fine tip glue bottle. Here it is, right here, okay? I used my little glue bottle and then just glued that across the tags. This one went over the end. This one, they're the little borders on top of them. Cut out a couple more of these cute little houses, and then added some Jewel Dazzle stickers, those copper ones there. And then right here, I've got our brown script greeting dazzle stickers, which might be my favorite color of the script greetings. I love these. There's 3 different sheets of different greetings and they all come in one pack. They're very easy to lift off, very easy to place. So just miss you there, another little house. And then you guys, I took one of the little cutout flowers, added some of those copper Jewel Dazzle stickers to the center little foam tape, okay? And we're just going to attach that right, actually what we're going to do first is, because I forgot, I'm going to show you about cutting out one of these stickers. So this is the original book I was using. And we're just going to cut this out because I know it can be intimidating when one of the stickers is like mostly twigs and things like that. And how are you going to cut that out, Lene? So I wanted to demonstrate. All right, so I'm taking my little scissors and I'm going to keep my scissors going in this direction and I'm going to be turning my paper. And it's just, in my opinion, a faster way to do this. You notice I'm leaving a white edge and then we're just going around like this and trying to get close, but then sometimes you just don't go into one of the little areas between the leaves. You just leave that going around and around. There, I got a little too close there, so I'm going to go here. And so if any one of you are like, it takes forever to cut these things out, I'm showing you that it does not. Okay, I'm just going to go around this way. And because these are clear, the background being white is kind of deceptive because you're like, oh, I have to get so close to the edges of these. You do not, because it's going to be clear when you peel it off. I'm just going to get rid of that piece. Now we're going to go here. And you can see I'm not really doing anything special other than just turning the paper. Okay, now you could go down into here. No, I'm just gonna go that, cut that off. And then now we're just gonna go here. And then we're gonna add this to the card. All right, get rid of all the little bits. All right, so here's my little cutout sticker. I'm gonna carefully peel like that. And then I'm going to place this, I think, here. So it's overlapping those tags. And then I have this piece here that I showed you where I put some foam tape on the back, and I'm using our giant wheel of foam tape, 150 feet or 50 yards of continuous 1/2 inch wide. And then I just put a little bit back there. I'm going to put that right there. So we're seeing the little twigs come out. And then I cut out these little birds, which were earlier in the book, in the same manner. And then I'm just going to take off these little bits of tape. And I just put enough on here to support the little twigs. You don't need to cover it. You don't need to use large pieces. That's why our foam rolls last so long for Debbie and I, because we just use little bits. All right, and now I'm going to place these right here so it's kind of in this corner. Okay, so this piece and this piece are meeting at the corner. It's overlapping some of the elements and it's filling this little corner. And then I'm getting that dimension in there as well. So it's just a matter of just layering some pieces, just like that. All right, so continuing on. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you. Here's how, this is this large sticker that I cut out. Here's my card, same size, and we're gonna peel this. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to cover a card using these beautiful translucent pieces. All right. And what I like to do is just sort of drop it like that. And then I'm going to lay it down just like this. And then we're going this way, so we're not getting any bubbles. And then now I have to take it off my background. And then I recommend using scissors that have like a titanium coating on them, the non-stick coating. I mean, it will do some sticking, but as you can see, I'm not having any trouble. And I usually would take my larger paper shears to cut that off. Okay, so that's how you work those large pieces of stickers. Get this stuff out of the way. All right, so now we can continue. Done my little demos for you guys. All of these adorable, look at the little wooden shoes. And this fairy scene with this clock hanging. Beautiful. And then here's our other sheet here. Now, when we get to the back, you have this piece that's going to fold way out. So you have this piece here with these tags, some of which are the ones that I used on the card that I showed you with the tags. Then you've got a pocket here. All right, now we're going to fold this out. More here. And then here, which is on the other side of this piece, is a little box. So you cut out the shape of the box. You take your scoreboard. Okay, we've got a little mini scoreboard here. And I just took my mini scoreboard, I put the box even with the top here, and then I just took my little tool on the scoreboard and I just went down the edges like this. And then of course you're having to cut in between these flaps. And then one part here that I noticed that they didn't score, you need to score right here as well, or they didn't show you a dot line, score there as well, and I'll show you why. This is what the box looks like when you're done. And then I inked the edges, okay, when I was assembling it. You can use glue on this, you can use double-sided tape, and then I cut out one of the flowers, put a little foam tape under there. Here's a little bit of crepe ribbon. This collection is really nice because it has all the colors that are in this book. I'll list that down below the video. And I just glued that on there. And then here are some of those little copper Jewel Dazzle stickers, which I think go so nicely with this. You open this up and then I foam tape a tag right here. You could also put a little scene in there and make it into a cute little gift box. It's adorable. So these flaps right here, you do need to score right there because they go up the sides and they get glued inside. Okay. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, just an adorable little gift box, which they added in. I thought that was adorable. So, okay, so here, that's the fairy collection. Now we're going to take a look at the last mystery collection, which is very like Spies, Humphrey Bogart, film noir, mystery, Sherlock Holmes, that whole scene, okay? It's very cool. You're getting the same number of images, which is pretty cool. Cut and create 160 images, junk journal, collage, scrapbooking, card making, 32 pages, printed on 104 GSM, acid and lignin free, includes 4 transparent adhesive sheets. Okay, so we're starting here. Lots of cool tags. Lots of cool numbers and things on these, which I love. And before we go any farther, I should show you the card I made. That way we can talk about all the things that I used as we go along, Lene. This is a center step card, okay? I used our center step 5 cards and envelopes. They're already die cut just like this. You pull it out of the package. This is exactly what it looks like, and it has envelopes. So for this, you guys, I took a rectangular piece of paper, I'll point it out as we go, and inked the edges, glued it here. Before inking the edges of the paper, I did ink the edges of the entire card front. Then I put my little rectangle there, cut some strips of paper also from this paper, glued it on the side, some polka dot paper along the bottom edge. I used some brown and gold jewel border dazzle stickers on the corners of that polka dots. There's a tag here. I added For You, which is from our black Tiny Words and Phrases Dazzle stickers. And then Sun comes from the little personalized sheet of Family and Friends Dazzle stickers. But there's Dad, Grandpa, Uncle, whoever you want to put on there. Okay, and then this is a sticker where it says Do Not Open. This is a little cutout right here. And then I foam taped the tag. This guy is somewhere within the book, and I cut him out and I glued him to kind of extend off of the edge of the card here, but it's still within the parameters of the card. That's what I love about the center step cards. You have a little extra space to go off the edge. Here's this cool little pocket watch, and I foam taped that, foam taped this little clipboard, foam taped the phone, and then added right here and here, here and here, some of those copper jewel dazzle stickers. All right, so as we go along, I'll point this out, and then I also have a journal page to show you as well as we continue. So let's take a look at got eyeglasses, cameras, shoes, spyglass or magnifying glass, pipes, film. So if you like old movies, if you like mystery novels, if you like anything like that, this is definitely for you. All the images are just like, they do have a masculine flair to them, but you'll notice as we go along, there are also plenty of things in here for the girls. Now, more cutouts here with numbers. Here you've got your girl spy, your Nancy Drew. So yeah, just really fun. Look at this scene here. Like bullet hole through the glass. That's cool. Okay, an old revolver. We don't have to use that if you don't want to. Here's our telephone. Thumbprint. Glove. Got some old photos here. All very mystery. Okay, this is the guy I ended up cutting out for my card. Okay, this is like old money and things like that. Okay, here you've got 4 different sections that could be really cool card toppers. You've got your different kinds of hats. Okay, so this one, kind of like the detective's desk with the window. Here's another detective's desk. Oops. Oh, here's some more of those stickers and the polka dots and then the paper. Lots of different old cars. You've got your trench coats. This is really cool. All the different kinds of keys, locks. This is a really cool collage with a like London phone box. And this particular piece I'll have you look at. I did use this in the journal page that I'll be showing you next. And then all of these are like little boxes. They're like little like safety deposit boxes. Okay, you've got more little code words. And then this is a piece I also used. You cut this out, fold the flap here, fold this in half, fold the flap, and it makes an envelope that you can glue together. Lots more cool tags. This comes out all the way like this. And then on the back side, you've got this cool leather. All right, so let's take a look at the journal page I did. This is from our mixed media journal. And open this up. A little old-timey photo that you could always add to your journal pages. This is this envelope right here, okay, that I folded, but I took one flap right here and I cut this one flap off so that I could glue it, fold it and glue it inside of my journal, and then I can tuck things in that side, okay? So here is that one piece I showed you where it was just all like film canisters, film reels rather. I thought that was so cool. You could put a little piece of white cardstock on the back, make it a little note, put it in there. You could put more photos in here as well. I left space right here overlapping. After tearing out this piece, inking the edges, I did ink the edges of the entire journal page, then tore out this long border, inked the edges of that, glued that here, cut out some of these little stickers from the sticker pages to do a year, 1942. Here's a little envelope, inked the edges of that, and then foam taped that. The glasses came on this long piece, and then this pen I cut out and glued here. And then these were 3 tags, cut them out, inked the edges, and then little hole punch, added just a little mini brad there, and then I kind of splayed them out and foam taped them here, and then glued the little camera, glued the little knot. There's places that you can write and tuck in here. You could write here, or you could add a photo overlapping right there. Lots of things you can do when you're decorating your journal pages and writing around it, just to make it more fun and creative, which I love. Okay, so you guys, I think you can see both of these books give you lots and lots of opportunities to be super creative. Now, we do have a fantastic money saver. It is right there, listed on paperwishes.com on our webisode page. All the other items are listed down below the video in the supplies. There's also full color photos of all of these projects. And if you click on any of those, it'll give you a list of what was used. If you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page at paperwishes.com. And I did want to go back and remind you that this is our giveaway card right here. So how we do our giveaway cards. We ask that if you're watching us at paperwishes.com on our webisode page, that you hop on over to YouTube and you can just search our channel there, which is My Paper Wishes, and that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, you like this video with the little thumbs up, and that you leave us a comment. And then after about a week, we will reply to one individual's comment by saying, congratulations, YouTube username blank, and give them information on how to collect their card. So you do have to know your YouTube username. And if you've forgotten what that is, then just go back and look at your comment and it's labeled with your username, okay? And it's also a good idea to hit that notification bell at the top right-hand corner so you know when we are announcing our giveaway winner or dropping a new video. Now, we do videos almost every day of the week. I think we do six a week now, but we do giveaways on every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. So if I'm hosting it, Lene Gehrig, then I'm doing a giveaway. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. This was a fun one. I hope you check out these fantastic journal and ephemera books, and I'll see you in the next one.